These are the Runaway World playing cards. What up, crew? As I mentioned like 20 seconds ago, today we're going to be taking a look at the Runaway World playing cards. This deck is a collaboration between Anyone Worldwide and THOM Stevenson. Now honestly, I searched for over an hour to find the manufacturer, the cardstock, the finish of these playing cards. Couldn't find it anywhere. Not a single place that I could find it. So I decided to email Anyone Worldwide. It's been over a week now. Still no reply. But anyway, they released 3 versions of this deck. The first one is the standard version, which you saw. The second one is the showroom edition, which you got when you purchased 1 or more bricks. And the last one is the V1 Gallery edition, which I was not able to get my hands on at all. Like, I wasn't even close. And because of that, we're only going to be taking a look at the regular edition along with the tuck case of the showroom edition. Starting with the front of the tuck cases as usual, in the regular edition, you can see that the whole tuck case is a black color, and on the front you can see the world in white and green, and on top of that world it says human needs in like a red metallic foil, and right underneath that it says Runaway World. Now comparing that to the showroom edition, there's just a couple of color changes. Instead of the world being white, it's now like a violet type color, and the whole tuck case is green instead of black. Looking at the back now, it has a checkered design, and it almost reminds me of a kind of optical illusion. So it feels almost mesmerizing. Then near the bottom here, you see it says THOM Stevenson written within that red metallic foil. And of course, that's exactly the same as the showroom edition. And quickly just going through the sides of the tuck case, one of the sides says all the time. The opposite side says all of the people. On top, you can see that it's written anyone. And lastly, looking at the bottom, it gives us the information that we pretty much already know. Now that we've taken a look at the outside, let's go ahead and open up this box. Opening up the tuck case, we can see that the flap says, "The world we build will be our own." Then on the small flaps, you can see a smiley face and a skull and crossbones. Pulling the cards out and taking a look at the back, we can see that it matches the back of the tuck box, but instead of the black border that we saw earlier, it's white, and of course there's no signature near the bottom. Going to the ad cards first, one is a skull and crossbones with human needs written on the bottom, and the other one looks like a red painted X with some info here down the bottom. Coming next to the jokers, the first one, it looks like the front of the tuck case of the showroom edition with the purple globe with the green land. It says Runaway World, and on the bottom it says the world we build will be our own. And going on to the next one, it's just very plain text. It says, "What do you know about hell?" and it's circled in red. Looking at the cards, the blacks are black and the red looks like a slightly different shade as compared to a bicycle deck. And the font of the indices is also different, as you can see. What's really unique about this deck is that all the face cards are custom and nothing like what you're used to seeing. I'll quickly run through all the face cards so you can see what they look like. And finally, you can't miss the Ace of Spades that's right there. It says Ground Zero on top with the spade symbol. It looks like the background is a bit of red with green and looks like a shattered, I would guess shattered earth. And it says down here, Ace of Spades in quotes. As far as the handling of this deck goes, I mentioned earlier that I wasn't able to get the details, so I'll describe it the best I can. I would compare these playing cards to ones made on thin crushed stock, as they handle extremely well right out of the box. And I wouldn't say premium because they don't feel the same way as premium cards would feel. I would assume premium cards feel a bit thicker but still handle very well. But then again, I could just be completely wrong. But regardless of all that, I could use these for cardistry all day long or for even playing games at the card table. But definitely not for card magic because the level of customization on the faces is just too much for someone who's not familiar with custom decks. In terms of extras, one thing that I love looking for in decks are secrets or reveals. But this deck really didn't have any of that as far as I can see. But I'm completely fine with it just because it is more focused on cardistry, and those aspects are really something that you wouldn't need for this kind of deck. However, the level of customization for the faces is pretty amazing. I'm sure a lot of time and effort went into making those, so it's quite amazing and unique. Alright, so now that we've gone through all that, let me wind out my final thoughts and where this deck would land on the CM rating scale. In terms of the tuck case, I do like a lot of the aspects from the feel of the actual tuck case. You can actually see there's some debossing as well, and it also has metallic text, so it really has quite a lot. And I would give this tuck case probably a 2.5 out of 3. As far as the design of the deck goes, I really was a fan of the back, but not at all of the custom faces on this deck. I feel like it does have some meaning behind it, but I just was not a fan. So I'd probably give these a 2 out of 3 for card design. In terms of handling, as I already mentioned, they handle very well right out of the box, so definitely a 2.5 out of 3. Lastly, in terms of extras, as I mentioned before, this deck doesn't really have any kinds of secrets as it doesn't really need it. But I'm sure a lot of work actually went into the custom faces, so I would give it a half point out of 1. Bringing this deck to a CM rating of 7.5 out of 10. And as always, this is just my opinion. You may love these, you may hate these, but a 7.5 out of 10 is how much I like these. As a whole, I'd recommend these mainly for anyone. See what I did there? Anyone? Anyone worldwide? Okay, you know what? But yeah, anyone who's interested in cardistry, as the handling is really nice. One last thing to note, this deck has been sold out on the Anyone website, but if you're interested in purchasing one for yourself, I'll put the link down to it in the description. Anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and there are plenty more like it on my channel. Click on this playlist right here to check them out, and hopefully I'll see you there. Peace out.